Today on TNT Big Show, it does seem like video games are having hits and new franchises, and that's good. All today on TNT Big Show. Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Michelle Nantucket.
And this is Sean.
Welcome to TNT Big Show, and let's get right into it. And for all the people who keep this doom and gloom nonsense, now that Grand Theft Auto 6 has been delayed till next year, which I actually think is a good thing, because Rockstar Games said they want to make it the best they possibly can. In other words, they don't want there to be a lot of bugs, crashes, and the game be as good as it can possibly be. I'm not a Grand Theft Auto fan, but you know what? Good for you, Rockstar.
And they didn't say it, but let's face it, they wanted to beef it up for the Switch too.
Yeah, that's printing money right there, basically. But for anyone who says that video games are in trouble this year are not paying attention. Number one, we had Monster Hunter Wilds, which is over 10 million units already. But to me, more impressive, Split Fiction is at 4 million. It's coming out for the Switch 2 on day one, so you know that one's going to go up on the Switch 2. But also Expedition 33, which is now in just 12 days at 2 million copies. That makes me happy because it's a new franchise. It's turn-based. For everyone who thinks, you know, like Square Enix, people don't want turn-based RPGs. Oh, really? Well, then tell me why Pokemon sells like it does. And now Expedition 33 is at 2 million already. In 12 days, it outdid what Final Fantasy VII Rebirth did in its whole run. So don't give me that nonsense. Turn-based game. Look at the sales of Octopath Traveler 1. We don't know what 2 is at yet, although I heard it's over 2 million. But Octopath Traveler 1 is at over 4 million units and almost 3 million alone on the Nintendo Switch. And it was a turn-based RPG. So I don't want to hear this nonsense that turn-based RPGs are not popular. That's just not true. Persona 5 sold over 7 million units, you know. That has been a hugely successful game. So it just depends if you make a game that the public likes.
Exactly.
And Expedition 33 is only $50, $60 with the DLC. Less than 40 people made this game. The game was made by a new studio in France called Sandfall Entertainment, and they wanted to make a game like Final Fantasy, Persona, the old Final Fantasy and Persona games, and they wanted to give it a westernized flair and stuff, and Western RPGs are just not my thing. I much prefer Japanese RPGs myself, you know, and with Expedition 33, it doesn't really do anything for me. But I'm not going to sit here and belittle the success or call it a bad game or something, because it's clicking with gamers, it's selling really well. A lot of people are calling it their personal game of the year. I could not be happier. It's really bringing back turn-based RPGs to the front of people's minds. It's a new IP. It's about time we had some new big ones, you know, like Split Fiction's already over 4 million. This is over 2 million. That means that, you know, the video game industry is more than just Call of Duty and stuff, and that is always good to see. They're an indie developer. Maybe a lot of the video game industry needs to take a look at this, that this game is not a big $100 million budget game. It wasn't made by 1,000 people, and it's at $50, okay? That's the base game. $60 for the stuff with the DLC, but if you want the complete game, you're paying $60, not $80, and I love Mario Kart and stuff, you know, but you're not paying $70, you're paying $60, and that's good. You know, I mean, maybe the video game industry could learn from a game like this where it's just about the fun factor and stuff.
But we also have to remember the big elephant in the room is going to be the Nintendo Switch 2. And I think that's why a lot of the video game industry is crashing. No Sony. And that's why they're doing this. But investors and other people are saying otherwise.
And the fans, you know, I mean, the fans are like, there have been some really big hits this year, you know, and this is before Mario Kart and Metroid Prime 4 and who knows what else Nintendo's got coming out. And, you know, we also know that, yes, there's going to be a new Call of Duty game this year. There always is, you know, but it's good to see the industry. It's healthy, actually, you know. All this doom and gloom, a lot of it has to do with the tariffs, you know, and I hope that Nintendo doesn't raise the price again because of the tariffs. And
even before that, Michelle, let's be honest. The video game industry, when Sony didn't have nothing planned planned for this year. Oh, heaven forbid, the video game industry and media. Well, the video game industry is dying. It's dead. You know, Nintendo's over here. Hey, I got stuff. Well, nobody doesn't have anything. Microsoft and Sony are just, you know, and I mean, basically that's what it is.
Yeah, and it's stupid too because the Switch 2 is coming out and Mario Kart on one system is bigger than Grand Theft Auto. I'm sorry, but it is. In order for Grand Theft Auto 5 to get over 100 million sales, they had to release 6 different versions. And, you know, so Mario Kart is going to be far and away the biggest release this year.
Behind, in my eyes, Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yeah, that's another game that's going to be huge this year is Donkey Kong Bonanza. It's just the industry is not on the verge of a crash. It's not.
No, it's not.
IPs like Expedition 33 and Split Fiction, say hello. They're going to be big new franchises, you know, and Donkey Kong is going to be coming out with Bonanza, which looks amazing. So come on, let's stop being...
Pokemon A-Z.
Yes, Pokemon A-Z.
Metroid Prime 4.
And we don't know what else Nintendo's got, or who else might have some. Capcom may have a big new one, or I don't know. I mean, Namco Bandai. And
just because Sony doesn't have blockbuster games lined up. Like, when has the PlayStation 5 ever had that? What, they have 1 or 2 every year or so, and that's it.
And if you ask my humble opinion, the best game on the PlayStation 5 by far is Astro Bot. But that's not their biggest seller, you know? I mean...
Nope, I knew it wouldn't be.
No, Sony fans, you guys really should buy that game. Did I think it deserved Game of the Year last year? No, but you know what? It was really a good game, though. It's an excellent game, and I highly recommend it if you have a PlayStation 5. That's like Expedition 33. You know, of course the company can't say it right now, Sandfall Interactive, but there's a rumor that it's going to come to the Switch 2. You know it will. This is not a huge graphic-pushing blockbuster and stuff. Well, the Switch 2 is a powerhouse, but you know what I mean. But it'll be on the Switch 2. You know, Expedition 33 and Split Fiction are showing that you don't need $200 million budgets to make quality games that people want to play.
Exactly.
They're just fun, and that's something the video game industry got away from. I know a lot of you are not happy with Mario Kart being $80, although I think, like I said, really at the end of the day, value is subject to the eye of the beholder.
I know, but it kind of makes me sick that they think that every single Switch 2 game is going to be $80 now, and that's a dang lie.
Yeah, that is. But anyway, but the thing is, Mario Kart still goes by the Nintendo philosophy of fun. You know, even if you don't like the price being $80, I can understand that, you know. But to me, Call of Duty and them release a game every year. This is going to be the only Mario Kart game for the next decade. And
you know Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be at least 80 to 100. I'm sorry, it is.
Yeah, it is. You know, but I do feel bad for a lot of us. Like, we've been used to video games being $60 for years now. But look, prices go up. Unfortunately, that's how it is.
Well, and budgets of games go up.
Yeah, yes, but look, Expedition 33 is only $50. Or if you want the DLC with it, that's $60. Split Fiction is just $50, you know? I mean, so not every game, you know. And yeah, Split Fiction on the Switch 2 is only $50. Cyberpunk, the Ultimate Edition, is cheaper on the Switch 2 than it is the other versions. Just stop it, people. Stop. You know, stop believing this clickbait nonsense that the video game industry is in for another crash.
It's not, no.
Healthy young indie developers plus Nintendo bringing their big fun franchises. Now, if you're thinking because of the tariffs, yeah, I can understand that, and Trump needs to be stopped. He really does. But, you know...
Because let's be honest, folks, they're already at 145%. It won't surprise me by the time it gets done, tariffs will be, especially in China, maybe over 1,000%. You may think I'm exaggerating. It's Donald Trump. I'm not exaggerating.
But anyway, let's get back to Expedition 33 and Split Fiction. I wanted to make this video because it's good to see original games like this do well. You know, it goes to show that video game fans want something fresh. They want something that's just fun. Expedition 33 is not the longest RPG ever, so what? You know, it's about 50, 60 hours to complete. It's not Xenoblade or something, but you know what? That's fine. Fact is, it focuses on fun. And that is a good thing. Split Fiction focuses on fun. That's a good thing. Let's reward these developers and their games by buying them. you know, because that's how you get the industry to change. You have to do it. If you do it, then they'll follow suit, you know, and I want to see games get more back to the way they were as far as the philosophy goes, you know, like focus on fun, innovation, and if it sells a ton, cool, you know. I really do want you all to start to get to know the names of Sandfall Interactive and Hazelight, who did these two games. But they're not the only ones, folks. There's a lot of young indie developers coming up, and not every big title now is going to be from Electronic Arts in them. Electronic Arts, I know Electronic Arts publishes Split Fiction, but they didn't develop it. But the fact is, the video game industry, to me, is going to start seeing a change, and it's going to be for the better. Lots of fun is coming. Don't overlook these great games. Seek them out and buy something fun for yourself.
And once again, in the video game industry, it's going to be Nintendo leading the charge.
Well, yeah, Nintendo, Nintendo is going to be the big dog this year. But don't overlook some really cool original games as well. Let's support them. Yes, Nintendo Switch 2, let's get it. Let's play 100,000 hours of Mario Kart and Donkey Kong. But while you're also on the Switch 2, get Split Fiction. Check it out, you know? And also when Expedition 33 comes out for the Switch 2, get it. Buy it, you know? I mean, people are like, well, it's not your favorite game. That doesn't mean that I think it's bad. You know, I mean, who knows? Maybe I need to play more of it, you know? Maybe I'll change my mind on it, but even if I don't, the fact is that I know a quality game, and this is a quality game, and I highly recommend anybody get it. So I love seeing games like this become hits. Let's support them, and let's send a message to the industry that this is what we want. This is me, Michelle Nantucket.
And this is Sean.
Have a good one. Thank you for staying to the end of the video and watching it. If you like all of our videos, don't you join our other social medias like TikTok, Discord, Reddit, Instagram, Thread, X, and our WordPress blog. You can also support us by joining Patreon for as little as $1 a month, where you will get exclusive content, uncut videos, behind the scenes, watch that trailer, Jack's joke of the week, and my sports input. If you join the $25 tier, I will send you an autographed copy of The Buzzies for free. If you love horror movies and independent content, we're a great place to come and visit because we love supporting other independent creators and stuff. When you support us, you're supporting people who do all of this by ourselves. Me, Michelle, I'm the editor, I'm the director of the videos, I'm the producer, Sean's the executive producer and content creator. So thank you everybody, and please look into supporting our Patreon, as it really does help out. Just $1 a month. Thank you and have a wonderful day.